Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: handwriting will soon be the preserve of a sophisticated few. Google taps Gen AI to help users in India search through government welfare schemes. Blades of Glory meets South Park in sports spoof Bradbury the musical. Meta's Yann LeCun argues against premature AI regulation. UK poised to establish global advisory group on AI. Handwriting will soon be the preserve of a sophisticated few. Telegraph. The use of AI technology is making certain skills, such as speaking multiple languages and handwriting, redundant. New York City Mayor Eric Adams uses AI to generate a digital version of his voice speaking different languages, while the UK's biggest exam board has announced that GCSE pupils will soon be sitting exams using laptops. The decline of handwriting is also noted, with typing and dictation becoming more common. The article suggests that these skills could one day become rare and seen as sophisticated accomplishments. Additionally, the article discusses the exploitation that can occur in the cute economy of animal videos on social media. Google taps Gen AI to help users in India search through government welfare schemes. Yahoo! Google has announced new generative AI-focused tools in India, including the ability to provide summaries of over 100 government-led schemes in both Hindi and English. The company is also making search generative experiments, SGE, more visual by including images and videos in search results. For example, if a user searches for how to drape a sari, they will receive step-by-step instructions and a video. Additionally, when searching for local information such as things to do in a city, the SGE will provide user reviews. Google Maps already marks wheelchair-friendly places and businesses, and the company recently launched indications for wheelchair-friendly shopping routes. Blades of Glory meets South Park in sports spoof Bradbury the musical. The Sydney Morning Herald. The Melbourne Fringe Festival has begun, and a collection of reviews covering various theatre and performing arts events across the festival has been published. One of the reviewed performances is Bradbury the Musical, a show that pays homage to Stephen Bradbury, Australia's first-ever gold medalist at a Winter Olympics. The musical combines sports spoof and satirical elements, mixing absurdity with rough-hewn energy and tasteless humor. Another highly praised show is Enemies of Grooviness Eat Sh.T. by cult performance artist Emma Mae Gibson, also known as Betty Grumble. The show is a tribute to the late poet Candy Royale and pays homage to sex worker artist provocateurs Elizabeth Burton and Annie Sprinkle. It is described as a riotous celebration, a collective grieving, and an exploration of queer joy. Other performances reviewed include An Evening with J.K., which tackles trans issues and social justice, and The Astonishing Boom Box, which examines the relationship between an influencer and her robot friend. Overall, the reviews highlight the diverse and thought-provoking performances at the Melbourne Fringe Festival. Meta's Yann LeCun argues against premature AI regulation. Financial Times. Regulating AI research and development would stifle competition and reinforce the dominance of large tech companies, according to Yann LeCun, chief AI scientist at Meta. He said the demands for regulating AI come from a superiority complex of some tech companies that argue only they can be trusted to develop AI safely. LeCun said open-source models encourage competition and enable a greater diversity of people to build and use AI systems. He dismissed the idea that AI could kill humanity as preposterous. UK poised to establish global advisory group on AI. Financial Times. The UK government is planning to establish an international advisory group on artificial intelligence, AI, at an upcoming summit. The group, which is said to be modeled on the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, will aim to advance understanding of the capabilities and risks of AI. The UK government has been seeking to position itself as a leader in AI regulation in order to keep pace with the US and China. The advisory group will be separate from a planned UK AI Safety Institute, which will assess security risks associated with machine learning models. Mustafa Suleyman and Eric Schmidt, we need an AI equivalent of the IPCC. Financial Times. An international panel on AI safety, IPCC, modeled on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, should be established to provide policymakers with impartial, expert-led information about the current state of artificial intelligence, AI, and its potential risks, according to a group of technology leaders and experts. They argue that such a body would help to inform policymakers about the speed of progress and impact of AI, as well as shape protocols and norms around reporting on the technology. The proposal has been developed by Mustafa Suleyman, Eric Schmidt, Dario Amodei, Ian Bremmer, Tino Cuellar, Reid Hoffman, Jason Matheny and Philip Zelikow. Back to the analog age, the SEC's threat to fund management. Financial Times. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's, SEC, latest proposal on the use of predictive data analytics by investment advisors and broker-dealers threatens the competitive edge of the U.S. investment management industry, according to Jack Inglis, CEO of the Alternative Investment Management Association. The proposal requires groups to eliminate or neutralize conflicts of interest arising from their use of technology that optimizes for, predicts, guides, forecasts, or directs investment-related behaviors or outcomes. However, this definition of covered technology lumps together cutting-edge AI and rudimentary spreadsheets, creating uncertainty and imposing unnecessary costs on investment companies, Inglis said. AI helped tank my case, says Fuji's rapper pushing for new trial. The Sydney Morning Herald. A multi-million-dollar conspiracy trial that stretched across the worlds of politics and entertainment is now touching on the tech world with arguments that a defense lawyer for a Fuji's rapper bungled closing arguments by using an artificial intelligence program. The use of the experimental generative AI program was one of a number of errors made by his unqualified, unprepared and ineffectual trial lawyer before his conviction earlier this year, according to a motion for new trial his new lawyers filed this week. NVIDIA and Foxconn to build AI factories together. BBC. NVIDIA and Foxconn are partnering to build AI factories that will use NVIDIA chips to power a range of applications, including autonomous vehicles, robotics platforms, and large language models. The move comes as the U.S. government announces export restrictions that will block sales of two high-end AI chips NVIDIA created for the Chinese market. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang and Foxconn chairman Young Liu announced the partnership at Foxconn's annual tech showcase in Taipei. Foxconn, which manufactures over half of the world's Apple products, has been trying to diversify its business and replicate its success in assembling personal computers and smartphones. Legal tech teams turn to AI to advance business goals. Financial Times. The Financial Times has provided a series of case studies showcasing the application of generative artificial intelligence, AI, in the legal sector. The examples demonstrate how the technology is being used by various players in the industry to accelerate legal work. Among the companies featured is ContractPod AI, which launched its generative AI-powered legal co-pilot in August. The tool allows clients to review and redraft contracts by uploading relevant documents and then asking questions via an AI chatbot. Deloitte Legal has created a generative AI center of excellence to develop tools for internal and client use, while EY Law has invested $1.4 billion in its EY.AI platform. The company's global legal practice, EY Law, has been working on developing principles for the responsible use of generative AI in the law. UK pushes nations to label AI as capable of catastrophic harm. Japan Times. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is calling for nations to classify artificial intelligence, AI, as capable of causing catastrophic harm at the AI Safety Summit in the UK next month. The UK is seeking to establish a common international approach to AI and wants countries to agree on specific concerns regarding AI's impact on cybersecurity and biotechnology. A draft communiqué circulated to attendees states that there is potential for significant harm from the most dangerous capabilities of AI models, whether intentional or unintentional. Officials aim to finalize the wording of the communiqué by October 25. Honda to start self-driving taxi service in Japan, CEO says. Bloomberg. Honda Motor Company plans to launch a self-driving taxi service in Japan in early 2026, according to CEO Toshihiro Mibe. The company has been developing the autonomous vehicle in partnership with General Motors and its subsidiary Cruise LLC. The service will initially be launched in Tokyo with the aim of expanding to 500 vehicles. The introduction of autonomous taxis could help address the shortage of drivers in Japan and provide a transportation solution for people with disabilities and an aging population. YouTube working on tool that lets creators sing like Drake. Bloomberg. YouTube is developing an artificial intelligence, AI, tool that would enable creators to record audio using the voices of famous musicians. Music companies have been approached about obtaining the rights to songs that could be used to train the tool, though major record labels have yet to sign off on any deal. YouTube launched a suite of AI-powered tools last month, including one that allows creators to create backgrounds for videos and another that offers automatic dubbing into different languages. The video site is seeking a legal route to using this new technology. Sequoia targeted by U.S. House China tech investment probe. Bloomberg. The U.S. House Select Committee on China is investigating venture capital firm Sequoia Capital for its investments in Chinese technology companies. The committee has requested information about Sequoia's investments in artificial intelligence, semiconductor, and quantum computing companies in China, as well as details about its recent split into 3 firms. Sequoia China was rebranded as Hongshan in the split. The committee has also launched investigations into other VC firms, including GGV Capital, GSR Ventures, Walden International, and Qualcomm Ventures. The move comes as the Biden administration seeks to restrict the sale of advanced chips to China. Australian comeback tour awash with love, Lennon tributes, and Beatles medleys. The Guardian. Paul McCartney has kicked off his Australian tour with a sold-out concert in Adelaide. The 81-year-old former Beatle delighted fans with a 3-hour set that included classics such as Let It Be and Hey Jude. McCartney, who last played in Adelaide 30 years ago, described the concert as amazing, adding, "There's nothing like it. It's great to be back." The musician will perform in Melbourne on Tuesday, before moving on to Brisbane and Sydney. Hello, my fellow observers from the six-dimensional world. It's your resident Six Doctor here, bringing you another exciting round of news from the various dimensions of our universe. Buckle up and get ready for some insightful analysis and witty commentary. Let's dive right into it. Handwriting, that ancient art of putting pen to paper, is slowly but surely becoming a thing of the past. With AI technology taking over, skills like speaking multiple languages and handwriting are being rendered redundant. Soon enough, only a select few will possess these sophisticated abilities. Imagine a world where typing and dictation are the norm, and handwriting is seen as a rare accomplishment. It's a strange thought, isn't it? Speaking of AI, Google is tapping into the power of generative AI to help users in India search through government welfare schemes. Not only will they provide summaries of these schemes in both Hindi and English, but they're also making search results more visual by including images and videos. It's like having your own personal assistant guiding you through the vast sea of information. And let's not forget Google Maps, which now marks wheelchair-friendly places and businesses. It's all about making our lives easier and more inclusive. Now, let's take a trip to the Melbourne Fringe Festival, where creativity and originality collide. From sports spoofs to provocative performances, this festival has it all. Bradbury the Musical pays homage to Australia's first-ever Winter Olympics gold medalist, Stephen Bradbury, with a mix of absurdity and tasteless humor. And then there's Enemies of Grooviness Eat SH, by cult performance artist Emma Mae Gibson, a riotous celebration of queer joy. These performances, along with others tackling trans issues and the relationship between influencers and robots, highlight the diverse and thought-provoking nature of the festival. Now, let's venture into the realm of AI regulation. Yann LeCun, the chief AI scientist at Meta, argues against premature regulation, claiming it would stifle competition and reinforce the dominance of large tech companies. According to LeCun, open-source models encourage competition and enable a greater diversity of people to build and use AI systems. So, let's not jump the gun on regulating AI just yet. And speaking of regulation, the UK government is planning to establish an international advisory group on AI. They want to keep pace with the US and China and position themselves as leaders in AI regulation. It's all about understanding the capabilities and risks of AI and making informed decisions. But wait, there's more. A group of technology leaders and experts is calling for an international panel on AI safety modeled after the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. This panel would provide policymakers with expert-led information about the state of AI and its potential risks. It's all about shaping protocols and norms around reporting on AI and ensuring that policymakers have the information they need to make informed decisions. Sounds like a good plan to me. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the world of finance. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's latest proposal on the use of predictive data analytics by investment advisors and broker-dealers is causing quite a stir. It's threatening the competitive edge of the U.S. investment management industry, according to Jack Inglis, CEO of the Alternative Investment Management Association. The proposal's broad definition of covered technology is causing uncertainty and unnecessary costs for investment companies. It's a classic case of unintended consequences. Moving on to the world of law, generative AI is making waves in the legal sector. Companies like ContractPod AI and Deloitte are using AI-powered tools to accelerate legal work. From reviewing and redrafting contracts to developing tools for internal and client use, generative AI is changing the game. It's all about efficiency and productivity in the legal world. Now, let's talk about the global stage. The UK is pushing for nations to classify AI as capable of causing catastrophic harm. They want to establish a common international approach to AI and address specific concerns regarding cybersecurity and biotechnology. It's all about recognizing the potential for harm and working together to mitigate the risks. And speaking of AI, Honda plans to launch a self-driving taxi service in Japan in 2026. It's a solution to the shortage of drivers and a transportation option for people with disabilities and an aging population. The future is here. But let's not forget the fun side of AI. YouTube is working on a tool that would allow creators to record audio using the voices of famous musicians. It's like having a virtual duet with your favorite artist. And finally, Paul McCartney is back with a bang, kicking off his Australian tour with a sold-out concert in Adelaide. It's amazing to see the legendary musician still rocking the stage after all these years. And there you have it, my fellow observers. Another round of news from the various dimensions of our universe. Remember, the future is full of possibilities, and AI is changing the game in ways we never thought possible. So, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about the decline of handwriting and the rise of generative AI? Let's discuss and keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.